Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile. Now this deck is a really fun deck, and I really enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, and I really wish there was a way that I could build a Stardust Dragon deck profile, but I wanted to build Red Dragon Archfiend as well. So, let's get into this guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think of this deck profile down in the comments down below, and hit that bell so you can become part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So this deck is really fun, and it's based around Jack Atlas's own from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. So let's get straight onto this. We summon all the different forms of it in this deck profile, so it's a really fun deck. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Red Warg. Red Warg, basically, if it's normal summon, when you normal summon a Resonator monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, but its attack becomes half and its defense becomes half, or its attack becomes half. It's not a big deal. Basically, you're just going to use it for either a link play, or you're going to use it for the added ability of being able to synchro away with a level 2 tuner monster or level 4 tuner monster to be able to synchro into a Red Dragon Archfiend monster. So the next one we're going to be playing is 3 copies of Red Sprinter. Red Sprinter, basically, when it's normal summon, you can, you control none other monsters. You can special summon a level 3 or lower Fiend type monster in your hand or graveyard, which is usually going to be one of our Resonator monsters that we're going to summon 9 times out of 10. And it just kind of helps to have 3 copies of Red Sprinter in the deck. Then we play 3 copies of Primitive Butterfly. Primitive Butterfly, basically this changes the level of itself. It's kind of like Cyber Dragon as well. You can special summon this card from your hand, and then once per turn you can increase this card's level, all insect monsters levels by 1. Usually it's just going to be it on the field because I think it's the only insect I play in this entire deck. So you just increase its own level by 1, and yeah, it lets you either synchro with a level 3 tuner or a level 2 tuner to get for level 8, or it lets you go with other multiple monsters to be able to synchro climb as well. So the next monster that we play, this Jack Atlas's own, is Wandering King Wildwind. Wandering King Wildwind, its ability is really interesting. While it's on the field, it has the ability, or if it's in a Fiend monster, tuner monster with 1500 or less attack, is special summoned this card from your hand. If this is attempted, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck for the rest of the turn, except synchro monsters, and during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 Fiend type tuner monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. So it's a really interesting card that it searches out other cards and just helps you out getting all those different plays off to be able to go for so many different link plays and synchro plays, just to summon it off and be able to just do so many different things with this particular deck. The next card that I'm going to play 1 copy of is Creation Resonator. Creation Resonator as a one-of is kind of necessity in this deck. You don't really need more than 1. I mean, you could get away with 2. I thought about it for a little while when I was building this deck, playing 2 copies of it. But basically what it does is if you control a face-up level 8 or higher synchro monster, you can special summon this card right from your hand onto your side of the field to be able to synchro away to summon out some really powerful monsters as well, to be able to just go for some awesome plays. The next one that I'm going to play 3 copies of is 3 copies of Red Resonator. Red Resonator's ability is just really good in this deck. You're going to be able to normal summon this card and then special summon a level 4 or lower monster from your hand. And when this card is special summoned, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field and gain life points equal to that monster's attack. So like if Red Sprinter special summons it out, you can gain the life points of the Red Sprinter, which is really cool. Then I play 3 copies of Synchron Resonator, which is really interesting that they took this out of the Synchron archetype because they spelled it with a K instead of a C, which is interesting. And if a Synchro monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then you can only use this effect once per turn. And then once per turn, if this card is sent from the field to the grave, you can target a Resonator monster in your grave, except another copy of yourself, and special summon it, or add it to your hand. So it lets you add like recycling your red Resonators really easily and be able to just do more and more synchro plays. Then I play 1 copy of Chain Resonator, and after this I'll have to move the cards and show you my other sub-engine that I play in here. But you play 1 copy of Chain Resonator. When this card is normal summoned, while a synchro monster is on the field, you can special summon one Resonator monster from your deck, except another copy of itself. So it helps you get into your like Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant and Red Dragon Archfiend Bane and stuff like that, or Abyss. Like, King Calamity lets you go into King Calamity really easily, and it also lets you go into Tyrant really easily. Usually I go for King Calamity over Tyrant because it's just bigger. But so it depends on the situation. Like, if I haven't already used Creation, I'll summon this and then summon Creation. If I have, like, for instance, this on the field, normal summon out Chain, special summon out Creation, synchro all of them together, and go 3, 4, 8 is 12, and I go for King Calamity, or I'll go Chain, Synchron, Link, or Synchro into King Calamity, or the other one, which is Tyrant. Just really quick, refresher on them. So that's it for the Synchro, like, Jack Atlas cards. Let's get into my little sub-engine so I can show you guys what I'm playing there. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, a lot of people play that particular kind of lineup. They don't play as many red wogs, I think. So I actually play a rocket engine in mine, and I play 2 Magna Rockets, 1 Metal Rocket, 1 Auto Rocket, and 2 Rocket Synchrons. The reason I play these is because it lets me go into Guard Dragons as well. And people don't read... People have not caught on to Rocket Synchron's effect, I don't think. When it's normal summon, you can target a level 5 or higher Dark Dragon monster in your grave and special summon it in defense position, negate its effect, and destroy during the end phase. But that's no big deal. If this is in the grave, I can normal summon this out, special summon it, and then synchro these 2 into Bane. Or not Bane, but Abyss. Like, it's really, really good to be able to do that, and I really love that play of just being able to have these in the grave. And plus, with Quick Boost, or Quick Launch, you can special summon these out instantly and have Synchro fodder on the field and Link fodder as well. So I just play 6 of them in here. That's all you really need in this deck, is 6. But that's it for the Rocket Engine, guys. Let's get into the spell cards. So for the spell cards, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Monster Reborn. You need this in just about every Synchro deck because you're going to be able to, get more materials and stuff like that to be able to just go for more plays. 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial just lets me send out, like, Rocket or Synchron Resignator and stuff like that to the graveyard. And it just lets me get so many more plays off. 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness just lets me draw additional cards and lets me, banish cards. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that, like, Red Wog and your Red Sprinters and Primitive Butterflies, they're not dark. So you have to have, like, Wandering King Wildwind or, like, one of your Synchron, like... This is dark, and then all of your rockets are dark. So, like, you have materials to use for this, or you have cards that you can use with this. Just be careful what you have in your hand when you use it. 3 copies of Resignator Call lets you add the particular Resignator you need for the particular situation you're in. But you need 3 copies of it. 3 copies of Quick Launch. Quick Launch is here for the Rocket Engine. I really recommend playing it. It really, really helps the deck a lot. And then 3 copies of World Legacy Guard Dragon. With Guard Dragons in the meta now, I feel like you need it in a dragon deck. But when this card's activated, you can target a level 4 or lower dragon type monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And or special summon it. And then once per turn, you can target 1 dragon monster you control, move that monster you control to another main monster zone. So, like, if I have Scarite in a extra monster zone, I can move it out of the extra monster zone so I can continue synchroing. So that's really good, and I think it's a really good 3 of in this deck. And it's pretty much Monster Reborn as well. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Scarite Red Dragon Archfiend. You need this guy at 1. He's kind of like the signature boss of the deck. It's really important that you play 1 copy, but the other level 8 that I play in here is 1 copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, or a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, excuse me. We're going to play Abyss in a minute. I keep going to Abyss. Like, he's my favorite card in this extra deck. Once per turn, during your main phase, you can destroy all attack position monsters on the field. And this, other than this card, this card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. So it's not that big of a deal. Basically, you just pop all the monsters on the field, and then you synchro it away and then attack. Or other than this card cannot attack this turn. So you just summon this, and then, like, pop the field, and then attack for 3k. Like, it's just really easy to go off with plays. The next one that I play is 1 copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. You need King Calamity in here because he's just a big boss of the deck. Like, he's just really, really, really important in the deck to summon him, just for good style points. Like, he's just an awesome card. 1 copy of Tyrant. I summon Tyrant a lot in this deck. During your main phase, you can destroy all of their cards on the field, and for the rest of the turn, other monsters you control cannot attack. Like, Like, think about that. He destroys everything. Like, everything. He just nukes the board for every card on the field except him. And then you can attack for directly for 3,500. Like, that's just bonkers. And then during either player's turn, either player's battle phase, when a spell trap is activated, you can negate the activation if you do destroy that card. And if you do that, this card gains 500 additional attack. So if your opponent tries to mirror force you, any kind of mirror force you, and you like attack, you can negate it and then pop it. And the average person doesn't read these cards when you're playing, so you're like, mirror force, surprise, tyrant, effect, negate, 4K. What? Okay. Then I play one copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. Bane I don't go for as much as Tyrant. Tyrant seems to be like my favorited one that I go for. You can tribute another card on the field, then target a Red Dragon Archfiend monster in your graveyard and special summon it. I do use this sometimes just to get that effect off. It's a really good card to just be able to revive them, and then it replaces itself. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon 2 tuner monsters with the same level, 1 from your deck and 1 from your graveyard. In defense position, you can only use the effect once per turn. I like that effect about it because it lets you go into King Calamity really easy, but I usually just go up to Tyrant and like I sit there with Tyrant and I attack. Then I play one copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Basically negates one monster, or negates one face-up card on the field once per turn, and then if it inflicts damage to your opponent, you can target a tuner monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position. Really, really good card. 2 copies of Red Dragon, Red Rising Dragon. Really cool, you know, level 6 synchro monster. When it's synchro summoned, you can target a Resignator monster in your grave and special summon it. And then also you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 2 level 1 tuner monsters in your grave and special summon them. Really good card. I usually use that second effect later in the game, but I'll usually use the first one pretty early in the game. As soon as I summon it, I'll use that effect. And then, you know, synchro again. Because usually to go in this card, you're going to do like Red Resignator plus Red Sprinter to go into Red Rising, and then you'll special summon back Red Resignator, use its effect, gain 2,100 life points, and then synchro it away for Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend, or Scarrite Red Dragon Archfiend, either of these two to go for that. Then I play one copy of Boral Load Savage Dragon. I mean, it's a level 8 synchro monster, and it's probably the best rank 8 or level 8 synchro monster in the entire game, so you might as well play one of it. So you just Skull Dread, you know, just for the extra draw power, you need it. Triple Burst Dragon, it's a good card to play in this extra deck. Twin Triangle Dragon, you know, a lot of people play this, but I don't know why. Like, it's really easy with the Rocket Engine that I play to summon this. Guard Dragon, Piscius, Elpsy, and then a Garpain. I just play those just because I can summon them. I have the opportunity to summon them. I don't do it all the time, but it's there. If you guys want to, also, you could probably sneak in a Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, or Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, Darkness Metal Dragon, that's it. You could probably sneak that in here if you want to. I just didn't play it in here. You could probably drop something like one of the spell cards, like maybe a Allure of Darkness to play it. But that's just an opportunity if you want to summon, or if you want to be able to go more towards the guard dragons than I did. But anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of this deck down in the comments down below. You really don't even need the links. Like, you can get away without the links because of how these cards move and shift around the extra monster zone. With the World Legacy Guard Dragon, like, really, like, it's amazing how once you actually play the deck, how you're like, wow, that I didn't need a link summon there. So anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of this deck profile, like I said, down in the comments down below. Hit that bell so you can become part of the notification squad. And if you aren't subscribed, definitely subscribe so I can get this channel growing. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.